Hey guys, what's up? It's Joe Rady from Rady's Rides. I'm back here at Loki Kia in Clearwater, Florida, and guess what? We have it. This is the totally redesigned, totally new 2021 Kia K5. But before we dive into this K5 LXS trim, let's talk a little bit about what this car means to Kia. So this is the replacement for the Optima. It's basically the Optima with a new name. Now that new name is not so new to Kia over in South Korea. That's what they have always called their mid-size sedan, the K5. Now what's interesting is that this car is going up against some big competition. Honda Accord, Mazda 6, Toyota Camry, and even the sister brand, the Hyundai Sonata. One thing that Kia definitely is continuing to push forward on is being that go-to for not only a lot of value, but style that's gonna separate it from the rest of the pack. This is built with that same philosophy that's making the Stinger GT so popular, especially the Telluride, known as the Celluride to Kia executives, and of course the new Kia Seltos. All of those we featured here on Rady's Rides. We're now ready to dive into this all-new K5. So let's go ahead and see why it might be now the ultimate in the mid-size sedan category. Right off the bat, the styling. I think the thing that catches your eye immediately is the Heartbeat signature daytime running lamp. So specific, so unique, so cool. I can't wait to see these at night. It's gonna be identifiable from a million miles away, squinting and covering one of your eyes. You'll still know that that's a Kia K5, but you can clearly see the Heartbeat element. I like the way they have the separated elements on the inside of the headlight housing, a little bit of chrome, everything else blacked out. Now what's great is that this K5 is actually lower than the Optima from last year. It's wider, longer, and has a longer wheelbase. So not only are you gonna get overall a little bit larger vehicle, but you're gonna get more interior space, which is great. Now, as we drop down, you have these functional side air curtains, a little bit of gloss black, and some nice, almost like a chrome finish to it. Super clean, they are functional. Remember how I was talking about design philosophy? If you look at the Seltos and the Telluride, the way that they extend the grille into the headlight housing, super unique look. And I definitely like the way they brought the grille all the way underneath the headlight housing. Now, as we come across that grille, it is that signature tiger nose grille, pinched in the center, flared out, and I'm telling you, on this K5, it looks spot on the money. Now, when you go with a higher trim, you're actually gonna get a little bit different design on the grille that mimics a shark skin. This though, even though this is an LX trim, which is near the entry level, I still love the color. It's a nice gunmetal gray, and the way that it's attached really gives it almost like a floating element design to it. Now, as we drop down, you have flat black, horizontal slots, a little bit of gloss, and then color matched on the bottom here with a little bit of flat black. Really gives it a lot of differentiation of elements. Now, you do have some fake vents here, which normally we zonk on Rady's Rides, but obviously this being an LX trim, we're trying to compare apples to apples. Now, when we get up onto the all-new hood, look at how it meets the grille. Super clean design. You have this elongated U shape that goes towards the windscreen. Love the way it just fits the flow of the car, and even the way the hood slopes down, more aerodynamic than the previous Optima. Now, when we come around the bend, what are we working with wheel and tire setup? We have on this particular one, this is a 16-inch wheel. Now, on your entry-level trim, the LX, the LXS and whatnot, you're gonna get 16-inch. You could go up to optional 18. And then of course, on the upcoming GT this fall, it's gonna be a 19-inch wheel. I don't mind the design. I like the dark gray metallic gunmetal color to it. I just wish it was a 17-inch wheel. So I'm gonna zonk that it's a 16-inch, but the good news is you have a meaty 65 series sidewall, 205 on the width. That's gonna give you a nice, comfortable ride. Remember how I was telling you, paying attention to detail? Look at how everything just has a nice flow to it. Integrates nicely into the fender. I like this nice hard press line that goes around the fender well there. And as we come down the side, on your LX trim, you're gonna have color match mirror caps. I love this chrome trim, and I'll show you more as we get to the back. Nice rounded belt line. You have a strong line along the lower sill, and the way that the sill kind of slides down and extends a little bit gives a lot of different elements to the side of the vehicle to really make it stand out. We come towards the rear, and what you're gonna notice is that that chrome trim is only on the top, which I think is smart, but look at how they flare it out, and then they give you a floating roof design. So they're gonna split the roof line from the rest of the rear quarter panel and bring it all the way down. There's that nice rounded belt line that comes to the rear of the car. And then the trim, you don't see this a lot. I love the way it goes all the way back around. Really think it fits a nice clean look. If you notice the roof line, the way it comes into the rear glass, very aerodynamic, some gloss black here. And then even the taillight design, the way they did the headlights mimics the taillight design, very sharp styling, especially this part that goes across the middle that's gonna be illuminated. We drop down, you have your K5 badge. Like I said, this is an LX trim. So entry is LX, this is the next trim up. Some simple gloss black to kind of tie it all in, some flat silver. I like the simulated diffuser. What I am gonna zonk are these guys here. You got two fake exhaust vents. It would have been nice if they were trim rings. One thing though, I almost forgot to point out is look at how they added this nice little piece of gloss black here and the way they kind of etched it in to the fender. Makes it super clean, but yet gives it some style. And I like that with this K5. But why don't we go ahead, we talked about the outside, let's pop the hood and see what's powering this all new midsize. All right guys, we have the beautiful hood popped. You do have hydraulic hood struts. Underneath that hood is your standard engine for the K5. That's gonna be that 1.6 liter inline four turbocharged engine, 180 horsepower, 195 pound-feet of torque. It's all routed through an 8-speed automatic transmission. You can actually get optional all-wheel drive. This one does not have it. This one is front-wheel drive. MPGs, 29 in the city, 38 on the highway. Let me break down those different trim levels. So you have the LX, the LXS, which is this one, GT line, EX, and then of course we're all waiting for that GT spec K5 that's gonna have a DCT transmission and a 2.5 liter inline four turbocharged engine. If you notice under the hood, pay attention, they actually put some design element into the trim of underneath the hood, which just kind of shows their intentions. I like the way it says turbo, everything's super clean, wires are routed nicely. It doesn't look like you just opened up a box of Christmas lights from 2 years ago, everything all wrapped up in a ball. Super clean, but why don't we go ahead, let's get to that interior and see what the K5 is bringing to the midsize class. All right guys, we're inside the all new Kia K5, that LX trim. What I love about this car, like I said, is with it having a longer wheelbase and longer overall, you're gonna get a ton of room in here. Now I know you're at that point, you're like, Joe, I'm digging this car. It's really, you know, Kia is really doing some amazing things. How much is it? Well, base price for an LX is $24,000. This one comes in just a little bit higher, right around $25,500. If you're wondering when you go S trim, well, what are you getting? You're getting the keyless entry, you're getting push button start, you're getting the blind spot monitoring and whatnot. So you're getting a little bit more safety, a little bit more accessibility. Let's see what you're getting for the money. Now to the door panels, love the design, soft touch across the top. Look at how there's a lot of definition to the door panel. The silver trim is very tasteful. Even the way they kind of flare up that area right by the switch gear, no gloss black, which is great. Tasteful looking standard speaker cover, small pocket, maybe 2 tacos and a small bottle of water. Armrest though has nice soft material, nice leatherette style material on there, so I'm glad to report that. Now when you come to the dash, they nailed it. They knocked it out of the park. Look at this silver trim. Look at the way they kind of put some nice design element. Some black chrome finish, soft touch with the simulated stitching. I'm really digging this trim as well. Doesn't need to be faux carbon fiber. And then here's where we get to the infotainment side of things. Now this is your standard 8-inch infotainment system, Apple CarPlay Android Auto, but here's the great news. All new wireless technology. So you have wireless Apple CarPlay, wireless Android Auto. It's real simple to navigate through the system, really clean graphics. And the way that they have it mounted in here, it's easy to get to, and I like that. Now there's a little bit of gloss black, which on a sunny day, I don't know exactly right now how much glare you'll get, but it looks super clean. If you want bigger, you could go bigger. You could get up to a 10.25-inch screen. You got your silver start-stop button. There's that nice design into the AC vents. On this vehicle, you're gonna have your you're gonna have your dual climate control. So that's nice on the LX trim. That's your blower fan, switch buttons and everything, easy to control. And then look at this, down here you have a nice cubby for Snickers, 3 Musketeers, Kit Kats, but also a 12 volt and 2 USBs. So they definitely got you covered there. 2 cup holders, you have your jet fighter cockpit style shifter for that 8-speed automatic transmission. Nice simulated leather boot. Let me put it in reverse. We forgot to look at the backup camera. Throw it into reverse. Fairly clear. Could be a little bit more clear for a car from the 2021 model year, but you do have trajectories, so that's a really nice feature. I'm sure on the 10.25-inch screen, you're going to get that extra clarity. 2 cup holders. Here is your key fob for the LXS. Nice, tasteful. You have remote start. I love the way they do the buttons, and it's a great size, so it's not going to poke you in the family jewels. You have your different drive modes, which is really nice. And then you have a soft armrest, a little cubby right here for some pistachios, maybe some macadamia nuts. And then you open this up and you can literally drop a box of Twinkies in there. Not the actual cardboard container, but just open up the box and just airdrop them right into this cubby here underneath the center console. So it's a good size. And then seats, they are cloth, but remember, we're comparing apples to apples. Nice texture, good stitch work, manual seats for both the passenger and the driver. But the great news is you get plenty of headroom in here. I'm 6 feet tall, plenty of headroom, plenty of shoulder room. Come over to the business end. I want to show you behind the wheel of this K5. All right, guys, business time. Behind the wheel, you can see you have your manual seat controls, which is nice. I like the way it says K5 on the sill here. And then steering wheel. Steering wheel is a great size. Being an LX trim, one of the entry-level trims, it does have that rubber material. Go higher up the food chain, you're going to be able to get your leather on the steering wheel. The brushed aluminum silver look is tasteful. Nice horn button, flat black on the button, so you're not going to get your fingerprints everywhere. And then the dash, super clean, super clear. You got an analog tach, analog speedometer, coolant gauge and fuel gauge. And then, like I said, you do have your different modes: custom, sport, normal, and smart. And that's going to adjust how the engine and transmission behave very, very nicely. So when it comes to overall setup, super clean, good visibility out the windscreen. Let's try out the back seat and see how your passengers are going to like riding in the K5. All right, guys, we're inside the back seat of the all-new K5, and here's where your passengers are going to love you for getting one of these. The amount of leg room is awesome. This seat is actually further back than what it should be, and I still got plenty of leg room. You do have the plastic on the backs of the seats, and I know that parents, you guys have messaged me and said that you like the plastic because your kids can pick their nose and put it here, and then it's easy to clean off. So I won't zonk it for the parents out there, but you do have a nice pocket. You could put some books, maybe an abacus or two, or a banana, just for fun. You do have no rear AC and no connectivity, so I am going to zonk that. I think at least on the LXS trim, they should at least have a 12-volt back here. Nothing back here, so I guess you're going to need to get your K5 2 cans on a string to communicate with anybody. Another pocket for me on this side, and then what's great is you do have an armrest. So soft material, 2 cup holders, flip it back, but I'm telling you right now, you're really going to notice a difference in the back seat space. Let's check out the trunk and see how much room we have back there. All right, guys, time to open up the trunk. Real simple. You push the button and up she goes. It's a little small in the opening, but I'm telling you, look at all that space in here. And this is like a class size leading over 15 cubic feet of space. If you want the actual number, it's 15.9 cubic feet of space. I like the way they have the handles. You just pull, seats fold down very, very easily. It's got a nice high back, so your cans of Campbell's soup aren't going to roll out of the trunk once you go shopping and whatnot. But why don't we go ahead, let's get to the best part. Since this is an all-new K5, if you're ready, I'm ready. Let's take it for a spin. Leaving Loki Kia, we're in the 2021 all-new K5 LXS trim. Remember, we will be bringing all the other trims as well. But right away, I think you're going to notice that even though this is one on the bottom of the totem pole, it actually does not feel that way. Seats are very comfortable. I do love the layout of the interior, all the nice little touches. You got plenty of connectivity up front, at least, not so much for the people in the back, but the design elements are super, super clean, and I like that. Looking out that back window, you might think that because of the steep rake of that rear glass, it would be like a mail slot looking out the back. It's not. Great visibility. Side mirrors are awesome. Let's see what the on throttle feels like as we roll out on the road here. I'm going to put it into sport mode by selecting that mode selector. It changes the graphic on the dash. Let me change lane here real quick. On throttle. So really with the 1.6 liter, it's great to have that as your standard engine because it gives a nice overall balance of power and fuel economy. So that really is a good balance there. And then of course, I know we're all waiting for the 2.5 liter out of the GT. That's a 2.5 liter turbocharged engine out of the GT. But good feedback and feedback from the front wheels. Steering wheel has a nice thickness. It is that rubber material, but remember, we are comparing apples to apples here. So this being an LX trim, I'm not gonna zonk it. If this was a GT or even a EX or a GT line, that would be a different story. But having that 8-inch infotainment system screen is great. Having the Apple CarPlay Android Auto makes it even that much better. They not only up the game on the size of this K5, but it actually is made from stronger steel, the frame, and it has an all-new frame. So you're gonna get better sound deadening, and you're gonna get a better ride from your previous Optima. And not that the previous Optima was garbage or anything, but it's now just that much better in this K5. But driving along really, really smooth. Back on throttle, the transmission drops down and we are off and running. Smooth shifts. So overall, like I'm saying, even though this isn't the 2.5, you're still gonna get some decent get up and go. I'm gonna say 0 to 60 is probably around 7.2, 7.3 seconds. There hasn't been any official materials that have been revealed on that. I know the GT goes 0 to 60 about 5.7, 5.8 seconds. So that gives you a little idea on the difference between the two, but super, super smooth. The finishes, all the touches in here are really wonderful, and I think you're gonna be pleasantly impressed, especially if you have not been in a Kia. I think that's been the biggest thing, is that every time I talk to somebody who has seen their first Telluride, their first Seltos, their first Stinger GT, or now this new K5, they're just blown away by it. And that's what Kia's doing. And they're able to do it at a great value. For $25,000, go look at the competition. You're definitely getting more with this all new K5 for sure. But let's see how she handles into this right-hand turn. I'm telling you, nice feedback. Now you are getting a lot of sidewall flex because we are riding on 4 balloons, those 65 series sidewalls. But other than that, nice feedback, super smooth driving down the road. You got your lane keep assist, your blind spot monitoring on this LXS trim, which is really nice as well, and all the other safety features that you come to expect. But hopefully this gave you a nice overall feel of what the K5 is all about. We're gonna, like I said, this isn't the only one. We're gonna bring the other trims. We always do that here on Rady's Rides. A lot of times we start with the top trim. This time we're starting with second in. Not the first, not the lowest, but the second trim level. But we're gonna get back to Loki Key and wrap this one up, so I'll see you in a split second. All right, guys, it's been another great day here at Loki Key. I definitely gotta thank Rob, Danny, and the rest of the crew getting us access to this 2021 Kia K5. Remember, we will be bringing more trims, all the trims to you on Rady's Rides, and I can't wait to get my hands on that GT come this fall. But it really shows that Kia is bringing the A game when it comes to value, when it comes to options, when it comes to design and interior space, especially at this mid-size level of the auto industry. But definitely one you need to now add to your list even more if you're looking at the competition. But if you want to keep seeing these all new 2021 models here on Rady's Rides, leave a comment in the comment section. If you're new and you're on your way out, hit the subscribe button. I promise you it's worthwhile. Come back for more. If you are a subscriber, thank you for being part of the Rady's Rides family. If you want to help us keep making great content just for you on the channel, click the link in the description. Get yourself some Rady's Rides merch. Got to get it to Victor. You know, he's starting to see the design and the value in Kia. He's a big German car fan, and I think that's the only type of cars he ever thinks about. But now his scope is widening. So thank you, Victor, for keeping an open mind and putting in the hard work. And just like always, guys, I'll see you on the next ride.